Thanks, Val. Now, Friday the 13th is truly upon us, but what is it all about that date that causes such a frenzy? Or not, as the case may be, you might not be bothered. Not only in the UK, but of course across the world in different cultures and religions. Have we survived Friday the 13th
we have.
so far?
I know you were thinking of possibly staying in bed for the rest of the day, but you're with us, Richard. Thank you so much.
Yes,
to see you.
I've never had a problem. I shouldn't say that, should I?
No, you shouldn't. Not yet.
Stage.
Not yet.
But we wanted to research a few of the facts and figures of Friday the 13th and why it seems to be so...
Exactly.
So sort of
we have some fascinating facts to share with you tonight. Apparently, fear of Friday the 13th is rooted in ancient, separate bad luck associations with the number 13 and the day Friday. The two unlucky entities combine to make one super unlucky day. And,
of course, a lot of people avoid the number 13, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, the Italians apparently omit the number 13 from their national lottery.
Yeah, and on the streets...
So that would be me stumped, because that's one of my lucky numbers.
Is it?
Yes. Hospitals and hotels regularly have no room number 13.
And I like this one. On streets in Florence, in Italy, the house between number 12 and 14 is addressed as 12 and a half.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Airplanes, of course, that's a touchy subject. There's no 13th aisle.
And many airports skip the 13th gate.
And, well, more than 80% of high-rises lack the 13th floor.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's loads of facts we'll come up with throughout the show. And, of course, tonight's show is full of slightly weird and wonderful and slightly different ideas.
It is.
All linked with the angle of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and joining us today to tell us more about the significance of the number 13 and to do a mini numerology reading on Richard and myself is numerologist Linda Hodge. Welcome, Linda. It's lovely to see you.
Hello, Linda. We've also got Anne Winsper, who, shall we call you our sofa skeptic for the night? Because you're going to sit with us throughout. You needed a little buzzer, really, and you could
I can buzz it
when you think, hang on, something's going on. But first of all, I'm fascinated with numerology. So, I mean, with the Friday the 13th angle, why is the number 13 so unlucky in people's eyes?
Well, it is such a powerful and transformational number that it is taken as the number of death. And yes, it is death in many, many aspects. It's death to something old. Death can be to somebody in person, death to old ideas. And what death does, it starts to bring in the new. And this is where the transformation can take place. And this is where opportunities are arising. Now, because it is so powerful, we often turn to the negative. And this is where destruction and abuse and anything negative comes into play.
So because the number is so big and important and massive, we're scared of it, so we end up finding it
Don't be scared of that power. Take that opportunity that's given. There is an opportunity. Where there's number 13, take it, grab it, and go with it.
So
learn from it.
A Friday the 13th should be a real big day, a real good day for people, really.
Yes, it should be.
Linda, how did you get into numerology?
I have always had a fascination, always, for as long as I can remember. And I came to England, and as soon as I arrived here 6 years ago, one of the first things I did was study numerology. Fortunately, I went to a brilliant school, the International School of Numerology, and I can only highly recommend them. And to be quite honest, I can honestly say that I think it's one of the best schools in England. And my fascination hasn't dwindled, it's just grown and grown as I've done more and more readings. It's a way of life, it's a way of working. You can look at the numbers and you can see where you are, and it's a way of you can see how you can move forward in a positive way. So there's a lot of positive work that's being done with numerology.
So we're going to stick with you and we're going to find out more. You've done some readings on us. I don't know whether to be pleased or happy. I don't even know what you can tell, but we'll find out. But Anne, bring you in, of course. You're a negative so-and-so. If you're just a sceptic all your life, why can't you sort of be a bit open and free to ideas?
The true sceptic doesn't necessarily just think everything's rubbish. A true sceptic will go in, look at the evidence, weigh the evidence, and then make a decision based on that. So I don't think everything's rubbish. You'll be pleased to know. However, I will say if I think something doesn't look right, you have to be like that. You have to weigh up the evidence and see what comes out.
Well, I like to be open-minded and take things, as they come and see how they are.
But just taking things as they come, you need to investigate. Just because people say things, you don't necessarily take them at face value. You need to find out what's going on, especially in the field I'm in, which is psychical research. You can't just take what people say at face value, just a subjective view. You have to look at what's going on and investigate it. And then if something comes out of it that you can't explain, that's far more interesting because it's just a small amount of stuff that does come out. If you just accept everything, then that's very boring.
Well, Anne, Linda, we're taking a break. We'll be back in a minute.